Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? It is January the 11th, 2024. And today is going to be the second part of the video that I did yesterday on, being an alcoholic father. Just wanted to touch on a couple things before I get into that. One, the video that I told you guys I was going to make of the hospital visit that I had, I'm still I just haven't had time to get to it yet. I've had a lot going on here at the house, and it's just been a lot going on. I just have not had the time. I'm trying to get the videos done every day and comments and everything like that, trying to reply. I really have not had time, and just life in general, just trying to keep up with everything. I'm gonna get to it. I will have it done by the end of this weekend. I just really have not had the time, and I'm sorry. I know I said I was gonna have that up last week, but I shouldn't have said I was gonna do something and then I couldn't get to it. I'm learning every day doing this. I think I'm gonna be able to get something done, and then things happen, and I shouldn't have promised that video was gonna be up as soon as it was. I got out of the hospital sooner than I thought I was gonna be. I thought I was gonna be in the hospital for a few days, so I thought that it was gonna be no problem at all. I was gonna be sitting in the hospital with nothing else to do. And that didn't happen. I actually went there that morning, and I stayed the night before and then went in that morning for my procedure, and then we were out of there by like 11 o'clock that morning. Then I came home, and I wasn't feeling well, and then I got my wife and my kids and everything like that going on, and I just really have not had the time. But I will get to that. I assure you, I will have that video up by the end of this weekend. I feel really bad that I said that was going to be up, and I've just dropped the ball. But like I said, I've just had so much happening around here, and I'm not going to drop the ball on making these videos every single day. I just figured that's kind of like an additional video. I'm sorry, it's an additional video. I'm gonna get to it. So just be patient with me. I will have that up. I promise by the end of the weekend for sure. I apologize. I just keep dropping the ball. The next thing, I don't know why. I don't know what happened yesterday. I guess my video upset a lot of people. It is what it is. I'm gonna be myself, and I'm gonna talk about this, honestly and openly. And I guess I turned a lot of people off yesterday with that video I made. When I woke up yesterday morning and looked at subscribers, the channel was almost at 1,800 subscribers yesterday morning, and as soon as I posted that video up yesterday, we lost like 50 subscribers for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they were turned off because I got upset. I don't know. But I don't know. I looked at it after. I just happened to go on to the page. You have to click on the analytical page to do some certain things when you post a video. And when I looked at it, I saw that a bunch of subscribers were gone, and I'm just at a loss for words. I don't know what happened there. If any of you guys that are watching this that did remove the subscription, I apologize. I don't know why you left, but I guess you didn't like the video I did yesterday, so I'm sorry. I'm just being completely honest here, and I guess it's not for everyone. But for those of you who stuck around and are still here, not everybody left, but that's a pretty big number of people that left, and I've just been racking my brain on it, and the only thing I can come to is just that they just didn't like the video I did yesterday. So I apologize to anybody if I offended you in any type of way with that video I did yesterday, but like I said, I'm just here to be open and honest about my experiences, my journey, and I'm just trying to help people. And I don't know what happened there, but either way, I'm not gonna pretend to be something that I'm not, or act a certain way to appease people. And you know, it's unfortunate that happened, but it just is what it is. You know, I'd rather be open and honest and truthful, and if people leave because of that, then just, it is what it is, because I'm not gonna lie here. And you know, the way I felt yesterday, you know, talking about that, it got me really emotional. You know, I had a feeling that was going to happen before I went into the video. I didn't want that to happen, but it happened. And you know, I didn't edit any of that stuff out. I left all one long take just so that you guys could really see, you know, that it does affect me. And it's really had an impact on my life. You know, the fact that I did drink so much, and you know, in between working and drinking, I just wasn't around for my kids, and it just hurts me, and not just for me, but for them, because you know, they just lost so much time with their dad. But I'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. Another thing, someone said that they were having a hard time hearing me in the video yesterday. I know some of the videos, especially when I do them in the house and I'm in that room, the sound quality is not the greatest. And like I've said, I don't have, like, you know, sound dampering, like that stuff they put on the walls and all that kind of stuff. I just don't have like a room set up to videotape in. I probably do at some point I have a room downstairs, and that the opposite of that room that I'm filming in, there's like that whole downstairs area is like a mother-in-law suite. We actually bought that house just for that reason in mind, you know, that when our parents get to the point where they're, you know, they're not able to take care of themselves anymore, you know, our plan is to move them in with us when that day comes. And that downstairs area right there is perfect for, you know, my in-laws or my parents or anybody move in. There's a bathroom and everything down there. We got to do a little bit of, you know, we got to add a bathtub and a shower in there. There's already a bathroom set up, but we're gonna have to set that all up for them when that day happens. But we're not gonna put any of our parents in a retirement home or anything like that. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna take care of our family when they get older. My grandmother was in a retirement home, and it's just really sad, and I just don't want to do that to either one of our parents. So when the day comes, I mean, if they want to, they can come here. I mean, they might refuse it, but you know, that's our plan. And that whole side of the house will probably end up being for, you know, both sides of our family, our parents, to move into, so they can live on that side of the house and fight with each other. But anyway, the point of that is that I have, I ordered microphones. I got some Bluetooth microphones they should be here today. I just checked the status on it, and they're out for delivery. I really wanted to be able to film today with the microphones. That's why I waited so late this afternoon to film, because I was really hoping to have those microphones, and so the sound quality could be a lot better. Plus, it'll just give me the opportunity to not have to sit so close to the camera. I could stand away from it or whatever using those microphones. But they'll definitely be here tomorrow. It's probably going to be here late tonight. We usually end up getting our mail out here really, really late. So it's probably going to be here late today, and then tomorrow I'll use the microphones in the recording. I also ordered myself another tripod too. The one that my son got me is just a small one. It does have the light and all that kind of stuff, and it's got this, but it's got like the light control and all, like you can turn it on and off and then adjust the lights and the colors and all that kind of stuff. So, and that piece screws into the other tripod that I got. So I'm still going to utilize the one that my son got me. It's just I wanted a taller one. I've had to borrow his tripod that he has, and he doesn't let his dad hold his stuff too long. I mean, as soon as I'm done with the video, he's like, "Dad, where's my tripod?" So I figured I need to go ahead and get myself one. It wasn't much. I think it was like $20. So I'm just waiting on those two things to get here. So anyway, another thing I wanted to touch on real quick. I'm gonna do another live video this week, and the last time I did it was on a Saturday, and this time I plan on doing the live on a Sunday. I plan on doing a live this Sunday. The date would be, I guess, let's see, be like the 13th, 14th. It'd be the 14th. So Sunday the 14th. At 1 o'clock will be the next live video that I'm gonna do. So write that down or something if you want to join in. I figured Sunday probably be a better day. I figured most people would be home on Saturday, on Sundays, especially around 1. I know a lot of people go to church and stuff like that, and church is out at 12 o'clock, so I figured 1 o'clock would be a good time. If you guys think that's not a good time or whatever, let me know, but I just figured that would be a good one, and I really would like to see you guys there for the live video this time. Any questions that you have? The last time was a lot of fun, and a lot of people asked a bunch of questions. My grandmother actually, she didn't even know the live was going on. She had got onto her YouTube and then saw that I was live, and she got in there, so that was pretty neat. But if you want to join the live, it will be this Sunday at Eastern Standard Time, 1 o'clock. So be on the lookout for that. I'll post something up on social media accounts just to remind everybody, and I'm going to talk about it daily up until we get to that live video. So I'd love to see you guys there. So back to the video from yesterday. You guys really made me feel good after I did that video yesterday. Like I said, I, for some reason, lost a bunch of subscribers. But at the same time, you guys really were so kind and so nice to me. Just so many nice, warm comments that you guys said. I mean, y'all really blew me away yesterday. I mean, it really touched me. So many nice things that people said to me. I can't thank you guys enough for that. First of all, just thank you so much for watching. And then on top of it, just thank you so much for all the nice comments. You guys are so kind. I am so blessed to have this community, and y'all are just so great. I cannot thank you enough for all the nice things that everybody said to me. I mean, it was just, so many comments. I couldn't even keep up with it. I was up at like midnight last night still trying to catch up with those comments, and that is not a problem at all. I mean, seriously, you guys just blew me away. Thank you so much, really, because that was a very hard video for me to make, and I had, rolled it around in my head for quite some time and wondered if I really wanted to do it or not. And then I just said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just do this because I thought it was important. I still think it's important, and I thought it would be impactful. And from the feedback that I got from all the comments, I mean, just so many people said that, that video really touched them, and people talking about, that, they're not going to drink anymore because of that video. I mean, because they didn't want to have that happen. I mean, just so nice. So anyway, going back into the video from yesterday, I was talking about how I wasted away so much time with my children, between work and then drinking. I mean, I really didn't have a lot of time with my kids, and it's really unfortunate. I wish that if I could turn back the hands of time and go back, I mean, there's so many things that I would change in my life. But at the same time, I've said this before, if things hadn't worked out the way they had and my life didn't turn the way it did, I wouldn't be here right now making these videos, and I wouldn't be talking to you guys about, the dangers of alcohol and just talking on all these subjects about alcoholism. And there's just so many points to it that to touch on, than just, just, oh, I got drunk and this and that and I drank every single day. I mean, there's just so much more to it, because it doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. And that was the one of the main parts of that video yesterday, was about the effect that alcohol has on others, including our children. And my kids had to see me drunk all the time. And there were so many fights that my wife and I had, because of my drinking, which was all my fault. And my children have to hear those arguments sometimes. Now, it never got like really out of control or anything, but my wife would get upset with me, and she'd find a bottle of liquor that I had hidden or something, and of course the kids would hear it, and then we'd go into another room and talk about it. But on top of that as well, when you're drinking, you're just not thinking level-headed, and things can escalate really easily. You're already drunk, and then your spouse is screaming at you, and then it just creates it. And that's one of the reasons too that I made that video a long time ago about a message to spouses and loved ones of alcoholics, on how to approach somebody when they've been drinking. Because if there's one thing I have a lot of experience with, is making my wife angry because of my drinking, making my family members angry at me because of my drinking. And a lot of times the way I was approached just wasn't a good way to approach me. If it had been handled in a little bit, and I'm not saying every single time was bad, but there were a lot of times where there was a lot of screaming and stuff going on. And I think that there's a better approach to it. I could be wrong, I don't know, but just from my personality, I just rather just be talked to opposed to being yelled at. I just respond so much better to that kind of interaction opposed to being yelled at, because the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get defensive. And I'm the type of person too that I just don't like to argue and fight that much. And what I do now is, if we get into any arguments at all, I'll just get in my van and I'll just leave for a little while, and just drive around maybe for half an hour and just let things cool off, and then I come back. I don't hang around, or either I go for a walk. But I found that it's probably best for me most of the time just to hop in my van, just drive to the store for a minute, just get out of the house. And that gives everybody the chance just to calm down, recollect themselves, and then we get back together and then we actually talk. Because when we're both angry, it never works out. And I found that to be the best policy. And not only because I don't want to argue with my wife, I don't want my kids to hear or see that. I just don't. Because that's the kind of stuff that they never forget. And there's so many times that that my wife and I did argue, and I would be intoxicated, and I'm sure they remember a lot of that stuff, especially my oldest kids. My youngest son, he doesn't remember that much. I mean, he really doesn't even remember the house that we lived at before we moved here. Could that be a mental block that he's put up? Maybe. I've thought about that before. My oldest son, every once in a while he'll bring up the fact that I used to drink. Not that often anymore. In the beginning, when I first stopped, he would talk about it more, but now he doesn't really bring it up. And plus, I've lost a lot of weight since all that happened, and my oldest son will just say things sometimes like, Dad's really skinny now and he used to be fat and stuff like that. But as far as him like really digging deep into how much I used to drink, which they never really saw a lot of alcohol around. I usually had it put away somewhere, and I would drink out of a cup, and I'm sure they probably knew what was in there, but I just wasn't really open with it. And if I was drinking beer, I poured it into a cup. I just didn't have alcohol just kind of laying around everywhere like that. And that was something that we had agreed upon a long time ago, was just not for me to be like open and out with it. And so they didn't really see a lot of the alcohol per se, but they did know that their dad was intoxicated, obviously, because I just had that look on my face. A couple of months ago, I was going through all of my old Google photos and all that stuff, and I ran across a video from Christmas of I think it was 2021, and I was out. We were at my parents' house, and we had gone off into the woods. My parents live in a really wooded area as well, and we had gone off into the woods, and I was intoxicated, and we had walked on this. There's like a bridle path, like a horse trail that goes back behind there, and we had gone on a walk, and I guess we had picked up sticks, and I started like play sword fighting with my kids, and somebody had my phone and was recording me. I don't remember who, but the look on my face is just embarrassing. I can just tell just by from the video how intoxicated I was, and I looked just ridiculous. And I really don't ever want to look at that video ever again, because it's just so embarrassing. But seeing that video, and then knowing that my kids saw their dad looking like that all the time, is it's just one of those things that just bothers me. And like I was saying yesterday, I just couldn't imagine being in my children's shoes, and what they had to deal with daily, because it was a daily thing. This wasn't something I just drank on the weekends. I mean, I was drunk every single day, and they had to see me like that every single day. And when you're the dad, you're supposed to be the role model, the father figure, the steady pole in the house. I mean, you're supposed to be supportive, and the backbone for everybody, and be strong, and never wavering. Something that your kids can look up to, and I wasn't that for a long time. And that's one of the things that really bothers me. And I don't beat myself up every single day about it. It's not something that I dwell on all the time, but it is in the back of my mind, and I do think about it often. And I'm trying to do a better job of not doing that. But it's still hard, because it did happen, and I was that person. And like I said, if I could go back and turn the hands of time, I probably would, but I can't. So I'm trying my best to forgive myself, but that's easier said than done. And I think that eventually I'll get there. But it's something that's going to take some time. I just can't snap my fingers and say, that's it, I forgive myself. I just can't do it. It's going to take me some time to do it. And I think one of the ways that I'm going to forgive myself is by actually going out there and spending more time with my kids. I really have to put forth the effort. And until I really feel comfortable that I have spent as much time with my children as I possibly can, and I know for a fact that they fully respect me and don't think about that stuff anymore, then that's when I'll probably be able to fully forgive myself. Like I said, my youngest son, he doesn't really remember that much. My oldest son does. And then on top of my daughter, she saw a lot. And we've talked. We've had a lot of talks with each other, and I can just tell sometimes that she's still bothered by it. I just feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect there between the two of us. And I don't think that it's intentional, and I don't think that she's trying to be distant from me. She is at that age now where she, she's about to be 20, and she's all grown up now in her eyes, and she thinks she knows everything, and the last thing that she wants to do is hang out with her old dorky dad. But at the same time, I just feel like that there's just, I think it's going to take a little bit more time for us. And I have apologized to all of my children for what I did, especially my oldest kids. And they say they forgive me, but at the same time, I know it's always going to be in the back of their head, and there's always going to be that fear, I would suppose, that I'm going to go back to drinking one day. And I don't ever plan on doing it ever again. But I can understand where they're coming from. Have they ever said that to me before? No, they haven't. But in the back of their mind, I'm sure that it goes through it, and I'm sure they think about it. And rightfully so, because I made a lot of false promises back in the day, said I was gonna stop, and I never did until I got sick. And I quit a couple of times, and I'd go a month, but I really don't count that, because it was a short period of time. I just relapsed again, and that happened a lot of times. And honestly, I really wanted to quit, but I wasn't ready yet, and I was quitting for the wrong reasons. I was quitting for other people, and that's something I had to figure out for myself, that I had to quit for me first. And until I stopped for me and decided I wanted to love myself, I wasn't ready to quit until then. And it took me almost passing away for me to realize that I wanted to still be here, and I did want to love myself, because I didn't love myself for a very long time. I despised myself. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys right now. I would not look at myself in the mirror at all. I refused to do it unless I was shaving or doing something where I just had to look at myself in the mirror. I would walk by a mirror and look at the ground when I walked past it, because I was so ashamed of myself. So ashamed of myself. I could not stand the look of myself in the mirror. For years I did that. I refused to look at pictures of myself. And it wasn't always like that at all. When I was younger, before my alcoholism got really bad, I never would do. I would look at myself in the mirror, just whatever. I would take pictures with people, and I would take pictures and look at myself. I didn't care. I'd watch videos of myself that I would make, and for that 10-year period of time, I would not look at myself in the mirror. I wouldn't look at myself in a video. I wouldn't look at myself in pictures. I hated the sound of my voice. I hated just everything about myself at that period of time. And until I quit drinking, I just had no respect for me. But that's changed, and I do. I have some respect for myself now. And I am trying my best to forgive myself for all the things that happened. But it's going to happen in due time. And there's some things that I have to work out within me before I'm just able to just drop it and forgive myself. Another reason, too, that I'm really upset about this, and I've spoken about this in a bunch of videos as well, about, how much I used to love going kayaking and hiking and camping and all that kind of stuff. Just doing outdoor stuff. And when I had both of my boys, I had this dream that one day I was going to take them out and go whitewater kayaking, and I was going to take my boys. I used to talk about it with my wife all the time. I would tell her, one day I'm going to take those boys and we're going to go whitewater kayaking. I'm going to show them so much cool stuff. And of course my wife was like, no, you're not, because she didn't want any of them to get hurt. But I just wanted to show them my passion and the thing that I love to do so much, and I wanted to show them all these places that were so beautiful that most people just never get to see. And one of the reasons that I am so upset with myself right now is because I waited so long and drank so much that I got myself to a place now where I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do those things with them again. And there's a lot of reasons why. And it's not just because I'm sick. You know, I am on therapeutics, I'm on blood thinners, and a lot of those places that we would go kayaking are like miles into the woods, and there's no way to get to you except by helicopter, and there are helicopters back there on that river, on the Chattooga River, all the time. I mean, every time that we would go there for vacation, they were pulling somebody out of that river. I remember one time we went up there and I went to put in on the river. My wife went to drop me off, and there were like 50 police officers up there. They had the game wardens were out there. They were taking canoes off of these trailers and whitewater rafts, and they were taking them and putting them down on the river. A guy had fallen off the back of a commercial rafting trip and had drowned on that river, and they couldn't find his body. And those guys were going down there with scuba gear and all kinds of stuff, and they actually that guy's body was in that river for like a month until they were able to retrieve him because the water level was so high. And for me to go down in there and to cut myself bad or something, and I'm on blood thinners, I mean, that could be the end of it for me. And there would be no way for me to get some medical attention quick enough. And I just beat myself up about that because, you know, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to do some of those things that I really, really wanted to do with my kids. And, you know, it's one of the reasons I really wanted to have boys, because I wanted to show them all those things. And I'm just mad at myself because I decided that I wanted to drink myself into oblivion until I got so ill that I almost lost my life. And now here I am. And I can't lift anything over 5 pounds. You know, like I said, I've got 2 hernias, and I've got to wait for all this pancreas stuff to get addressed before I can have the procedures on my hernias. And, you know, and it's probably going to be a year until I can do that. I can't lift anything at all, not to mention I just don't have the strength, the energy. I mean, with the liver cirrhosis, I mean, it really causes you to be extremely tired. You're just wore out all the time. And you hurt all the time too. I mean, I have pains all over, and it's 24/7. And I mean, that's it. I mean, I just wish I hadn't have done what I did. But anyway, guys, I'm sitting here at 32 minutes on here. I just wanted to follow up for that video yesterday and kind of touch on the last couple points. I had thought about maybe talking about a couple more stories on there, but I think it's just best for me just to keep those to myself right now. I don't know what good it would be to tell those stories at this moment. I think I talked about enough yesterday. You know, and at this point, like I said, I'm really working hard on trying to forgive myself, and that day will come, and it's not going to just happen overnight, and I'm really trying my best. And thank you to everybody who said, you know, you need to forgive yourself, and I'm working on that, but it's going to be a process. I just can't do it today. I mean, it's just going to take me a little bit of time. But I am working on it. And thank you so much to everybody who said that to me. And, you know, that I am a good dad now and all that kind of stuff. And that my kids love me. And I know they do. I mean, just this morning, my youngest son came up to me and gave me a hug goodbye. I was still asleep when he came and woke me up. And he said, Dad, he said, I love you as much as I can. And I mean, that just jerked a tear out of my eye. I mean, he woke me up and said that to me and gave me a big hug. And then my oldest son came and gave me a hug and said he loved me. And, you know, that's the stuff that, you know, it's just so important. And I really do love my kids a lot. And anytime that they say that they love me, it just melts my heart. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. This is already going on long enough as it is. And like I said, the live video is going to be on Sunday at 1 o'clock. So be on the lookout for that. And until tomorrow's video, guys, I'll I'll see you then. I love you all so very much. You guys are so awesome, so nice, and so kind. Thank you again, guys. I love you. Bye-bye.